sometimes when you're a prophet, the Lord, we're to seek him to ask what his heart is and what's the word for the season we're in. And always seeking the Lord, but it's like we know some things, but it's like I don't think sometimes we understand some things. And the thing that we often say at the moment is time is short, and we say evil is increasing. But with that, the Lord's been speaking to me the past week about the urgency of the hour. And there is an urgency of the hour. And this is not just for you people, this is out there. There is an urgency of the hour, and that there is time for the body of Christ to be aware. We even said, we're in end times and things like that, but there is a truth that there is an urgency of the hour, and this is the hour of an urgency in God. And that in the body of Christ, again, this is, and for ourselves as well, myself I'm talking about, we have to be so careful of distractions, because that's the enemy's ploy in this season that we're in. When the urgency of the hour, when there's such a pressure on us with the many things that are happening, and we know that times are short, we know that evil is increasing, we are seeing it, we're seeing the violence on the street, we're seeing where life has no value anymore, we're seeing that what evil is being called good and good is being called evil, and we're seeing that, and we know that it's end times. But we also know that God is requiring a standard, and he's coming and he's bringing a sword and a separation between what is pure and what is profane. And so even in this hour, in the urgency of the hour, we must be on the alert and watch for distractions, because there is a ploy at the moment, the enemy, to distract us. And sometimes our distractions, the things that we get distracted by, seem well-meaning, and they seem like they're the right thing, and they seem to be like it feels right, but just be aware that the enemy is a deceiver, and what appears and feels right doesn't necessarily mean it is right. And so there's just a warning in that in this hour that there is a thing of distractions, and there is a thing that would just try and take and have us diverted actually from the course and the path that he would have us to go on. And that's not just for us, but that's for the body of Christ. There is a distraction thing happening, and it appears to be good, and it appears to be noble, and it appears to be right, but it's not true. It's slightly skewed, and it's not quite actually the path that the Lord actually has for his people in this hour. Because as I said, there is an urgency in this hour, and so we can't, the Lord's been showing me that often in the body we can play in the paddling pool and it's safe. Babies play in the paddling pool and it's fun. And so we can stay in that place because it is fun. But there's actually a higher requirement now, and the urgency of the hour to come out from the paddling pool and come and take your rightful position, and not get caught up in distractions, and not get caught up in the things that appeal to the flesh, or the things that make us feel good in the moment. So I just really sense that for all, and this is general word, that there is just an urgency in the hour, and to be aware of distractions, and be aware as well of where God is placing you and positioning you in this hour. That it's no longer time for hiding. There's even some here, that have hidden, and it's been a safe place to hide, because we can hide in a place. When we hide, we feel safe and secure. And there's a hiding in the Lord, which is right, but there's a hiding in the things that we know that we can do well, or the things that make us feel good. And again, there's just a fine line. That's where truth and falsehood, where there is just, at the moment, the Lord bringing a separation, and bringing truth to come to separate, again, what hiding in him and hiding in what makes us feel good. So the Lord is just issuing a challenge, not to us, but out there, issuing a challenge and a reminder that urgent is the hour, and we just got to be mindful that there is an urgency in this hour, and that we see evil and it's so subtle, and we've got to be on the alert. We must be on watch, we must be on alert at this time, because it's so subtle, and it's so easy to get screwed off either way. And it's just like when you've got a compass and there's due north, it doesn't take much and you go slightly off the north. So it's just like, quite literally, to be aware that we don't go slightly screwed off, because he has a divine path, and it's a divine way forward, and it's his path and his word and his way forward for you all.